Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Twim, and today we are going to talk with Zhanna, the founder of Russian Up channel. These days, lots of people are going through learning different skills because there are lots of times, and because of this corona thing, there are plenty of times, and it's the best time for us to learn new skills. And many people choose to learn languages, and one of them apparently is Russian. And we are going to talk with Zhanna today, and I'm waiting for her to join the chat so that I can bring her up. Hey Amir, hi Hamed. How are you doing, guys? Yes, there she is. Let me try to bring her up. So I send the request. Hey Zhanna,
Hello, hello.
how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine too. Thank you very much. You are in Moscow now, right?
I'm not in Moscow now. I don't live in Moscow actually. I live in Ukraine. Here we also speak Russian. I know it's in use for some of people who don't live in Russia or in Ukraine. For some foreigners, it's in use that not only in Russia, people speak Russian as a native.
But the Russian in Ukraine is a little bit different, right? For example, the way they say eyes is different in Ukraine.
No. You confuse Russian and Ukrainian language. We have Ukrainian language, and it's absolutely different from Russian language. I live on the south of Ukraine, where Russian language is the more common than Ukrainian language. Yes, some parts of Ukraine they speak Russian. Some parts of Ukraine they speak both languages, and some parts of Ukraine they speak Ukrainian language. So I live on the south, and here we speak Russian.
Very interesting. I thought only in the eastern side of Ukraine they are talking Russian. So this is not the case.
Eastern and south part of Ukraine, like Odessa. Maybe you know Odessa city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not far from the city I live.
I see. So you're Ukrainian yourself or you're Russian?
My mother was born in Russian in Siberia, and then she moved to Ukraine because of her health. It was the climate to her was very not good for her health. That's why she moved to Ukraine, where the climate is better than in Siberia. And
anywhere climate is better than Siberia anyways.
yeah, and so my mother is Russian and my father is Ukrainian.
But you were born in Ukraine.
In Ukraine, yes, in Ukraine.
I see. So how come you're not teaching Ukrainian instead of Russian? Because more people are speaking Russian?
Because it's my native language. Russian is my native language. I was studying in Russian school, and I speak Russian on a daily basis. And of course, I know the language of my country. But when I start speaking Ukrainian in some Ukrainian regions, like for example Lvov or Lviv, it's also a very touristic place. So people hear that it's not my native language because I speak not so fast, first of all, and with accent. But I speak Ukrainian quite good.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
and would you also introduce yourself to those audience that they don't know about you and your channel? Because I know your channel is very famous on YouTube and on Instagram. Many people are learning from your channels for free. I'm one of them, by the way, for many years. Since 2015 or 16, you had this channel, I guess, since 4 years ago.
It's already, I think, almost 5 years when I started my Instagram channel. And before I started my channel, I started teaching. And only after that, I decided to try Instagram. And a little bit later, not a little bit, only 1 year or maybe 1 year and a half, it's my YouTube channel exists. Yes. So what about me? As you know, I live in Ukraine. Russian is my native language. I have been teaching Russian for more than 5 years, it's for sure. I don't know the first lesson when I made when it was. I don't remember actually, but I have the day when I started my Instagram channel, because I didn't deleted all my posts. If you are not lazy, you can scratch and you will see they are very funny.
Yeah, totally different methods I can see in your page, and you totally develop the way you taught inside such channels. I totally got that idea there. But the thing is that which methods are you using? Because it's a little confusing that which method you're using on YouTube or Instagram in order to teach your students. Because I see there are a variety of videos there, which are very interesting for me, by the way.
Thank you. You mean about the method I use, yes? About
Yes,
the
but in
method.
public, first of all, the one that
Mhm.
you send for free to internet.
All my students, they are very different. They have very different levels, and they are interested in very different things. Some of them, they're interested about culture, some of them about literature, some of them about poetry, and it's quite difficult to satisfy all of them. That's why I try to mix all information which I give for beginners in levels, for beginners, for medium level, and for more advanced students. And I try to give different vocabulary for different needs. So it's the method I use. It's difficult to say how it calls. Just for 5 years, I created my own one.
Yeah.
about free, giving a free material, and about my students with whom I work in private lessons and in my courses. First of all, when I meet a new person who wants to study with me, I ask the motivation why he or she wanted to learn Russian, and
What are the motivations usually? Tell us
very
about the
different,
motivation. Yeah.
very different motivation. But I work only with adults. Very often, for example, mothers who came abroad and get married with foreign men. They ask to teach their children Russian language because they started to forget. Usually, I refuse to teach children. Maybe when I will have my own baby, I will know
Why
what
is
to
that?
do.
You don't like children?
I don't have children, and I don't know what to do with them. And
Okay. I
it's
have the same problem actually. It's very
and
hard for me to communicate with children
yeah.
the way I should.
And what I like about teaching adults, that they know why they need Russian language. And children, usually it's not child who want to learn language. Usually it's their mother or father who want him or her speaking a new language, and he or she maybe even don't want it. And it's quite difficult to catch attention of a baby, of a child, and there is no such problems with adult, because he already understood what is his motivation, what is her motivation. That's why
Exactly. Yeah.
it's
I
the first
totally
question
understand
I
you.
ask.
It was
Yes.
exactly the same reason I don't teach to children. I remember
What language do you teach?
before I used to teach English, but
Mhm.
these days I'm struggling with 10 different languages. I'm a student in those languages. So
uh,
I'm not an English teacher now. I'm just teaching in university. My topic is
oh,
related to mathematics and statistics. So totally
oh.
different from
how
entertainment industry or those things.
how you come from teaching languages to teaching mathematics? It's
Because mathematics is boring, you know. I should do a side thing so that I don't get bored during my daily life. And
Mhm.
what I wanted to say is that before becoming a university teacher, I used to teach languages. And then one time I tried to teach to children. And
Mm-hmm.
inside one of the classes, one little guy just got my clothes, and he told me, "Can I go to toilet?" So that was the time I understood. Okay, so it's not my place for teaching. You know? I cannot deal with them. I need them to just uh, act like adults there. So yeah, our
So
reason
I
for
should
not
say
teaching
that
to children are adults.
I afraid to teach children, because I imagine the worst situation. What I will do if he will go away from his phone or from his laptop? What I will do then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's also a big responsibility. I don't know how people handle that. I have actually one of my dear friends that she's teaching to to very young students and sometimes children. So it's very hard to do that. It needs patience. But you're a patient teacher yourself. I saw in your videos that usually you teach the way that's it's like you teach them very slowly, and I understand it's very hard for you to do that because you already know the language very good, but you should teach very slowly.
I try to teach to speak Russian slowly,
Yeah.
and even my friends, they laugh. They laugh when they watch my videos in Russian, and then they copy me when they meet me in real life, like how I speak Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because the first time I was trying to learn Russian, I know many Russian words, but when I listen to it, it's very hard to understand what they are talking about. So it's very important that someone teaches you how to pronounce things correctly when you are talking in Russian slowly, like the way you do. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. You are right. But I remember when I was learning myself to hear English. And at the first time, it was very, very difficult, very difficult. And I even didn't understand any movies and so on. Only practice help. Only practice.
Yeah, exactly. This is the way to do that. And so you try to do different methods in order to attract more audience to you from different backgrounds for different reasons. So it's suitable for all people around the world, we could say, right? You wouldn't say no to an adult students for learning Russian. Is that so?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I think there's a problem with connection. Can
I
you hear me
have
now?
students. Yes, yes, I hear you. Yes, I hear you well.
It's okay now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you were saying?
I have students from I think 20 years till 70 years, maybe even a little bit elder. So the age of my students is very, very different. Usually it's some students middle the middle level year age is between 40 35 40 years old.
I see. And there are some similar Russian channels on YouTube and Instagram. For example, Maria is teaching in Easy Russian channel, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. And there are some other channels like Olga from Siberia, something like that. Do you have any communication with these guys, or are you worried, for example, there are some competitors, something like that?
Of course, I don't worry, and usually a lot of times it was when a new teacher appeared on the Instagram and he asked me about advice, what to do, what not to do, on what it's better to focus at the beginning, and I share my experience with big pleasure. It's not a very big secret. I am glad that I can help people, and then they can start their own maybe business or teaching process successfully. I don't worry about it at all.
I see. And what
Yes.
was the most strangest comments you received from your fans or from your students on Instagram or YouTube?
Usually it's questions or some offers about strange. For example, usually men, they ask me to get acquainted them with Russian woman and give me
Really? Like an agency?
characteristic which women they like. It's
Oh,
for
I
me it's
see.
strange. It's for me it's strange because I don't have a line behind me of such women who ask me to get acquainted them with men. For me, it's strange because I think it's their own life. They should build their life by themselves, not me who need to give them a woman. Do you like such woman? Do you like maybe
There
them?
are online dating sites for that. I don't know why
Yeah,
they ask
I'm
a
not a
Russian nature.
dating site, yes,
Yeah.
but because I have so much such requests, I made a course which calls Romantic Russian course, which help to know all phrases starting from flirting with a Russian woman till marriage, and even the topic of sex I also put here in this course,
Just to get rid
because
of them.
yeah, because people they need to know it. They go to Russian. Some of them they go to Russia on this reason to get acquainted with Russian woman.
Yeah, I saw an interesting video about how to insult Russian women. Recently, I guess you posted such a video. I couldn't find time to watch it. I really want to watch, but it's really easy to insult Russian women. Actually, there's no need for video for that. Is that right?
You would be safe if you wouldn't touch her age.
Yeah, and what do you like or dislike about Russian culture generally? It's very interesting to ask such questions from native guys. For example, you're from Ukraine, but you are dealing with Russian and Ukrainian culture. What do you
Uh,
like or dislike
Actually,
about it?
we have the same culture, the same cuisine in Russia and Ukraine, and for a long period we were one country. As you know, it was USSR. It was one country which separated on a few countries like Belarus, Russia, Ukraine, and so on. And it's my answer to the question: why don't I teach Ukrainian language? First of all, it's not my native. Second, it's more practical to learn to speak Russian language than Ukrainian language, because if you know Russian, you can travel around all countries of former Soviet Union, and all people will understand you. And if you know Ukrainian, only Ukrainian people will understand you. That's all. That's why Russian is more practical than Ukrainian. Yeah,
I
and
see. And about my
about
question about what you like or dislike about this culture.
what I dislike about the culture, it's confusing things about how to address people. Yes, we don't have any ways how to address a man or women. Usually, people from different countries they address me like "госпожа" or "ma'am" or some other kind, but we don't have such way of addressing people in Russian. We just say, if we don't know the person, we say девушка, женщина, depending on her or his age. But I don't think that it's very polite actually, and we don't have any way of polite addressing people. I don't like it. It always make you so confused how to address people. Or when you see people which you don't know, you think, oh, how can I say him, her, девушка, мальчик, как?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's very confusing even for Russian speakers. And I understood that it's very confusing for people who are not Russian speakers. It's the first thing which I don't like. Then I think it's too much of holidays in Russian culture, too much of
That's
holidays.
true. Yeah.
And
But they
they,
expect you to congratulate them for each one of them anyway. Usually, my Russian friends send me, for example, today is this day. It means
Mhm.
that somehow indirectly congratulate us. This is our Independence Day or something like that. Or give us flower. This is our Women Day. Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, too much holidays. And usually it's a free day on these days, and banks and all government establishments, they are not function. It's not comfortable for people. Second thing, Russian people, they drink too much alcohol. Actually, it's true. It's not a myth. It's true.
But in
In
the new
general.
generation, I noticed they smoke cigarette even more than drinking alcohol. Do you see that in Ukraine as well?
Yes. New
Unfortunately, to see.
generation, like young people who are 20, 23, they just smoke, but not cigarettes. It's like new trend, like
Electronica one, yeah.
IQOS, it's a new trend in our culture. I don't like it. And kalyan, I'm not
Kalyan,
sure.
yes. Shisha,
Kalyan.
you call it shisha?
We call it kalyan. No, isha.
You
No,
also call it kalyan, okay.
kalyan. Yes.
In Moscow, they call it shisha. Well, I don't know why.
Yes, it's like maybe Turkish name or Arabic.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No?
Maybe Arabic. Because in Persian, shisha means glass. But
Shisha
I don't
glass.
know. In Arabic, I don't know.
When you say shisha, I understood that it's kalyan. Maybe I heard this word also.
Kalyan, it comes from kalyan. This is a Persian word. So
Persian.
kalyan should be Turkish or Arabic, maybe. But
So
these
it's a
guys,
new-
they could say this is Arabic. Abdullah, thank you.
Shisha is in Arabic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. But people who are more adult, who are were born in 80, 70 years, they drink a lot. As for me, they just need a reason to drink.
Yeah, and typically they know vodka for that. Whenever we talk about Russia, they say vodka.
Yeah,
so this is the same situation in Ukraine.
Maybe it's attract tourists. This phenomenon.
I see what they're doing. They say you know us for vodka. Let's drink vodka. Let's sell some vodka to these foreigners. Maybe something like that, or respect them for what they think this is the case for Ukraine or Russia.
The same in Russia and Ukraine. I speak about all culture in general now.
It's better I address it to Russia all the time, so there's no confusion there for the audience.
And what I like about our culture, I think that we are very patient to foreigners who are learning language, who are learning Russian language. And when we hear a foreigner who speak Russian language, we feel like, wow, he speak Russian. Maybe because we know that Russian is hard, and we feel that you make big efforts to reach this level. We understood this, and we never will feel like offended when you say something wrong. Yeah, it's one of the reasons, and maybe the second reason is that not so many Russian people, they speak English or other foreign languages. Maybe because of this, we are also so patient to the foreigners and so glad to meet a foreigner who speak Russian language. I like it about our culture that foreigners, they feel comfortable when they arrive in Russia or Ukraine, and when they say something wrong, it will be okay. Don't worry to do these mistakes.
And I think Russian people are smart. If you say something wrong, they understand the word that you were trying to say. Not in other countries, it happens. I say something similar, and they don't understand. It should be exactly the same accent. It happened, for example, in France to my grandfather. He was trying to ask for Sacré-Cœur, a famous monument there. I don't know, it's a religious thing there. I don't know exactly which kind of monuments there. But it's kind of famous there. Everyone going to Paris, they should go there. Then he was looking for Sacré-Cœur. And he pronounced it like, where's Sacré-Cœur? I'm looking for her. And he asked many people, they didn't answer. And finally, one old French lady said, Sacré-Cœur. Then we understood, okay, you should pronounce it like this. But for Russian, they don't mock you in your face to say, oh, you talk wrong Russian. They understand and they try to help. But the
Yes,
thing
it's
is
true.
that what I don't like in Russian society is that in when you walk in Russia, people they have frown on their face. I mean, when you are walking, strangers don't just smile at you. You know, in many countries this is the case. When you are in Europe, you're walking in Europe, you're face to face to someone, some strangers, you just smile and pass. But in Russia, it doesn't happen. They are very serious in the street. What do you think about that?
I don't know why it is. I don't know why, but I also mentioned it uh, when I go travel in Europe or some in Turkish hotels where there are a lot of Europeans. I feel like atmosphere of happiness. Everyone smile you. They don't know you at all. Just to give a good mood, and we smile each other. And not in Russia, not in Ukraine. We don't smile to people whom we don't know, because maybe we afraid that they will consider us like crazy. Usually when you smile a person like especially like this, they will consider you, oh, maybe he's crazy, better to go a little bit far away from him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, if I do it in Moscow to a stranger, if that's a lady and I smile, she thinks I'm crazy. If I smile to a man, he may think I'm transsexual.
Mm-hmm.
I mean homosexual. Your connection,
Sorry,
your
it's my
connection is
phone,
back now.
it's my phone calling.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the case usually. So I understood it. I lived in Moscow for a year, and I tried to be serious like them, and it affected me, and it influenced me when I went when I get out of Moscow to live somewhere else. Then I noticed I became too serious outside. I have a frown on
Mm-hmm.
my face all the time. So this is a bad thing, I think, in the society of Russian, unfortunately, because it affects you negatively. But I know when you get to know Russians, when you are friends with them, they are very fun people. They are very nice. But to strangers, no, they are very serious.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And when you already know a person, it's not a rare situation when people from Russian culture, they will invite you to visit his home. And when you already come home of Russian person, they will treat you with tea, with coffee, with some sweets, and even if it's um, lunchtime or dinner time, they obligatory will make you sit on the table and eat with their family. I like this about Russian culture, that they like guests very much, and if you come to some other's home, he will obligatory put some all better things that he has in his fridge on the table, and will treat you with these things. It's also in Russian culture, which the thing which I like.
Yeah, they are very hospitable. And what I
Yeah.
noticed, they usually invite you to the table right away. When you reach their home, there's a big table usually full of food there. Then they
Yes.
directly we go to the table. In
Mm-hmm.
Persian party, it's usually different. People just dancing and just goofing around. Then the big table of dinner is ready for them. But for Russians, no. You directly go to the table. They start treating you from the beginning to the end. Different drinks, different foods everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
So the languages you know is Russian, Ukrainian, and English. And what else? Any other languages?
It's the languages which I use more or less. Russian, it's my native language. I use it daily, all the time. English I use because I teach in English. Ukrainian, when I visit some government establishment, like when I need to write some documents, so it's our government language. And about other languages, I was living in Croatia for half a year, but it was quite long time ago. That's why I forgot almost everything that I knew. But at the time I was living there, I can speak Croatian. Also, I was learning French. at school, but from the school times till now, it's already 14 years past. So I also forgot a lot of things. When I hear some songs, my husband asked me to translate, and usually I can do it. No, at least 50% I can translate from French to Russian. But if I need go to French to the country where people speak French, I need to refresh a lot. I think that a few months will help me to remember the things I knew before.
Yeah, also French is a hard language, and if you don't practice it, it's very hard to keep up with it. But what about Croatian? I think it should be hard too.
It's very close to Russian, to Ukrainian. So it's a Slavic. It's a language of Slavic group. And for me, it was easier. Why? Because I know both languages, Ukrainian, Russian, and it's a mix of all Slavic languages. For example, people who speak some other Slavic languages, they also obligatory will meet the roots of the words in Croatian. That's why people who speak Croatian, they learn Russian more easily. And for example, people who speak Polish, they also learn Russian easily because we have even the grammatic very close.
For Hungary, they have the same situation, right?
Hungarian, it's a little bit difficult, not so close to Russian language.
Yeah,
Not so.
but they have the Slavic root as well. But how come that's so different?
Not so many words in Hungarian. I was visiting Hungary as a tourist, and I didn't catch any similar words. And
Yeah, totally
when I
different.
go to Poland like a tourist, I can ask question in Russian, and people answer me in Polish, and I understood everything quite well.
Oh, that's great.
So.
And you also mentioned about your husband. I think most probably you receive lots of direct messages. Like, are you single or married? Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
How do you feel about that all the time? Such questions happens. Do you feel
How he
flattered, like they
feel?
are paying attention, or you get annoyed because of it?
How he feel or how I feel?
Oh, maybe we can talk about his feeling too. But I know what he feel about that for sure.
I don't like it actually. I like more when people come to me because of Russian language, not because of my appearance or because of some other reason. So when I don't like such messages actually.
Yeah. But Russian girls are usually beautiful as the taste of the world, so we cannot blame them. It happens, you know.
I know. During 5 years, I get used to such messages, but usually I try to at least sometimes to show my husband and to increase to decrease
That's the best idea.
to decrease the level of these messages in my direct, because it's quite a lot time to just to read all messages and to choose the important the important messages from this list.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe to write them, for example, you're married, first line. The second line, we are not online dating sites. So these two you should write there so that you get rid of lots of redundant messages. What about other annoying messages? Maybe my final questions, because I know you don't have time that much, and also I try to make my interview short so that for the editing process it won't
About
be problem.
other annoying messages, some no, when, for example, speaking not about romantic sense of messages, but some people they don't feel where is the measure, and they ask me to do something. For example, do my home task, check my home task, and they don't imagine that I had such messages every day. Not only they who ask me to do his home task, to check his home task, and if I do all the home tasks which people ask me to do, I will not have time for my work, to spend time with my family, and so on. So they don't feel this measure, what is okay and what is not okay. I think it's because we are from different cultures, maybe because of this.
I don't think that's because of the culture, the last one you mentioned, because this is general
Right.
for all the teaching materials that we are teaching on internet. Because as teachers, all the time we receive messages like that, and many students or many people, they don't get it that we don't have that much time. Like, for example, we receive a very long article. My teacher, would you please translate it for me? Something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it happens a lot also for different topics. It's not related to culture or something like that. Usually we have lots of students who are young and they don't get how it's like to be a teacher. We are busy with our teaching materials. It needs time to prepare everything, you know that. For each one of your video, you are thinking about it. What should I do? Then you are teaching in English, so you're practicing how to say these things in correct English, correct accent maybe. These things takes time, so you're busy with them. But you're right, unfortunately, most of
Absolutely. You understood me because you are also a teacher, because you feel how it be on in my skin. It's like we say in Russian. I'm not sure about this proverb in English, but you understood it because of this. But not all of people, they feel this personal boundaries. It's Elena, help me to translate this.
And it's very hard not to offend them, you know, when you say no to them, it's very hard to not to offend them. Sometimes they think, for example, you're too arrogant not to do that for them. But this is not the case. If you had unlimited time, of course, I'm sure you would do it for them. You already give free lectures on internet. You're kind enough to do that. So how they don't realize, for example, you don't have time for their personal problems?
It's true, absolutely true. And I even make a free course for beginners who started learning Russian. It's also free. They can watch it. They can learn with it. Of course, I will not check their home task personally. Of course not. But if they want, they can spend time and do it by themselves.
And by the way, Elena is teaching you some expressions that it's better to say someone's shoes, not skin. But you
Uh-huh.
know, this is actually one issue that we are facing. For example, when you learn different languages, then you speak differently. Sometimes you speak out of one language from one expression for another country, then you use it in another language. It happens a lot. Also, this is one thing that people don't understand when you are multilingual. This is our common problem. For example, instead of Hungary, I say Hungaria because in some countries they say that. You see, it
Uh-huh.
happens to us all the time.
I even didn't mention.
But this is cool actually. We learn new things in different cultures. When you say skin, it's nice that now I learned a new expression. It doesn't matter in English culture they use it or not.
In Russian, we say like this. So you feel in my skin. You feel yourself in my skin.
Exactly. So for our new members, for new audience, for those who didn't know you before and they want to learn Russian, how they can find you, and which social media do you suggest them so that they can find you?
Instagram. I'm not. You can find me as Russian Up on the Instagram. Then YouTube, the same Russian Up without any spaces. Also Facebook, but I don't answer on Facebook in direct messages. So where I answer directly, it's Instagram. Also, I have a Telegram channel. What else? What else?
And
Maybe I forgot something. Maybe I forgot
maybe
something.
I think you listed many
Yeah,
websites and links there. Yeah.
yes, website. I have a website. I
And even
write.
teaching materials you put in one of the websites, very recommended for those who wants to just go through the lessons from the beginning to the advanced level.
You can start from my free course. On my website, you can find it. The name of the website is russianup.com. And here, the section free course, you can start it from this.
Yeah, that's good idea. And my last question, hopefully, that you have never been in Cyprus, right?
No, unfortunately, no. In Greece, I was in Greece. It was fantastic trip with going on Olympus.
Yeah. Well, in southern part of the Cyprus now, I mean, for many years, Greek people live there, and they have basically the same culture and as the Greek people that you met in Greece. But there will be actually another live. I want to talk about it in details. If those who are interested, they can join that one. But it will be very nice to also see you in person if you visit Cyprus, for example. That would be perfect.
I would be very glad. I would be very glad. I like traveling, but as for now, a few reasons not to travel. It's one of them is quarantine, of course.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And second, it's I'm waiting a baby now, so I'm not sure that it will be very soon when I will travel next time.
Yeah, that's true. But hopefully, this whole thing will be gone someday soon, so that everyone can travel wherever they want.
I hope. I hope.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Zhanna, for your
Thank
time
you.
today.
Thank you
It
very
was
much for
very
the
lovely to talk with
interesting
you.
life. Thank you. It was
Yeah, I've
very.
been your fan for I think 5 years now, and I'm so happy that I had also this chance to talk with you. And I suggest others to just go and subscribe to your channel. You're a great teacher. They will love the materials that you put them for free, and you have also materials that they can buy.
Thank you so much for invitation. I was very glad to spend this time with you and with your subscribers. Thank you.
That was my pleasure, absolutely. See you, paka paka, до
Пока,
свидания.
пока, пока, пока.